Faulkner, you mentioned working with Ben Johnson. Could you give us a little personal insight into my favorite guy, Ben Johnson?
Oh, Ben, I don't think I have enough words to describe him. He was very laid back. He was, he was a real cowboy. He came out from Oklahoma. The story I heard, he came out with some horses. I believe Fats Jones bought. And he met Fats's daughter, and that was it. They got married. He had some marvelous stories, and he was just fun to be around and listen to him. I'll never forget, what picture was it we were on? We were in Durango, and Carol was there with him, and Duke's driver, and George. Anyway, I forgot exactly what the flap was over, but George was out in front of Ben's casa, as he called it, which would be about a D-rated motel here in the States. There's an A right there in Mexico, Durango. But anyway, George got a little vocal and used some rather rough language. And Ben came, I just happened to be standing around, and Ben came out and very quietly, and in no uncertain terms, told George, he said, "George, my wife is in the house here." He says, "You pull that stunt again," and he said, "you and I are going to get into it." Very quiet, and it didn't happen again. He was he really was. He was a fine man, and very well respected, and he's very sorely missed. He did some marvelous things. I remember him telling me we were doing something, I think it was the Gunsmoke that I was thinking of. He said he'd just done a picture that he was kind of proud of, and he said, "You and your wife go see it." He said, "Don't take your daughters." And I said, "There's a little nudity in it." And the story that he told me, I thought was fascinating. He got a call from Jack Ford, and said, "There's a marvelous script that I've just read." He said, "There's a part of it made for you." And he said, "I'm not going to direct it," but he said, "There's a young director that's Peter Bogdanovich." He said, "Read the script." Ben said he read it. This was back in the early 70s. And there was nudity in it. And Ben was no prude, but he just did not want to be associated with that type of film. And he called his agent, who was Herb Tobias at the time, said, "Herb, told him what the situation was." He said, "How can we get out of this gracefully?" He said, "I don't want to ruffle any feathers here." And as I recall, Ben said, his agent said, "Look," he said, "Well, tell him you'll do it at $5,000 a week on 10-week guarantee," which was a lot of money then. Ben said, "Great." 30 minutes later, I heard called me and said, "They took our offer." And that was the last picture shoot for which he won the Best Sport Actor. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Doctor.